Hello again guys, I hope you're all well. Here is a quick example of the restoration of old pictures. That's the before and that's the after. We'll be coming back to that picture a little bit later on. First of all, let me tell you about my sources. These three PDFs about the history of Porthcawl from Porthcawl Civic Trust, from the Porthcawl Museum. Some of them are over 100 pages long, so all of the original pictures come from these documents. For an in-depth history of Porthcawl, these three PDFs are highly recommended. So if you wish to see the original photograph, you can see them in those three documents. The focus here is on Porthcawl and not Newton nor Nottage. They are separate projects. Porthcawl is relatively young, unlike Newton and Nottage. This, what you're seeing on your screen right now, is an Ordnance Survey map of Newton and Nottage. This was surveyed in 1813 to 1814. Porthcawl Docks was built in the 1820's. Guys, this is more like a bullet point history of Porthcawl. Very quickly done and with images to support it. This is certainly one of the worst images in this series. This is the inner dock basin. This is 1870's. We will be going in chronological order. This picture shows the first stages of the rest bay house. This is 1880. Old maps of Porthcawl are revealing. You can see the lack of streets in some of these pictures. Quite remarkable. So quickly from the 19th century to the 20th century, this is the Rock Hotel, 1900. And this is looking north, the corner of John Street and Dock Street, also 1900. This is the first railway station in South Road. Again, some postcards from 1900s. Doesn't everyone look well dressed and gentrified? Built in 1887 to commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee, Porthcawl's promenade runs along the seafront from Common in the west to the harbour before joining the Eastern Prom and leading to Coney Beach and Griffin Park. This is Nottage Court from an old postcard, postmarked 1909. Victoria Avenue, 1910. John Street, 1910. Stoneleigh College, 1910. Newton Primary in New Road, 1910. The cinema in John Street, 1912. Esplanade Avenue, 1915. Mackworth Road, also 1915. Queen's Avenue, again, 1915. New Porthcawl Railway Station, 1916, 1917. The entrance to Porthcawl Harbour and the inner dock basin, 1917. Fenton Place, 1920. Suffolk Place, 1920. Seabank Hotel, also 1920. Racing car at Rest Bay, 1920. Speed trials at Rest Bay, 1920. An aeroplane was supposedly landed on Lochs Common back in 1920 also. This is the closure of the inner dock entrance, 1926. Coney Beach Amusement Park, the fair, first opened in 1920. This is an image from 1929, before Griffin Park was created. Notice the expanse of the dunes. So this was the early 30s, Porthcawl Harbour, Salt Lake swimming and boating lake. In the bottom right hand corner are the original wooden piers. The dodgems being constructed in 1930 and the boating lake also in 1930. This is a photograph of Salt Lake boating and swimming, the early 30s. And again, Cozy Corner, 1930. The ruins of the Red House on Newton Bay, 1931. On to 1933, September the 21st, the official inauguration of extensions to the gasworks. And Barclays Bank first opened in 1935. You had to pay £6 back in the day to park your bicycle at Coney Beach in 1935. One of my favourite buildings in Porthcawl, St John's. In Porthcawl we not only have the #1 golf course in Wales with Royal Porthcawl Golf Club, and we have the largest Elvis festival in the Milky Way. But look at this, we also had Wales's first big wheel as well in 1938. So this is John Street in 1940, highlighting Woolworths. These are some early snapshots of when they were camping with tents before the caravans. This is the 1940s. That's a wonderful picture, that one. Notice how large some of the dunes are in these pictures. This is advertising, 1950, Traco Bay Caravan Park. Kind of look like this. This was the pedestrian bridge on the level crossing, 1950s. This was a rescue operation at Coney Beach in 1950. 1950s in Rest Bay. Coney Beach, 1950. The Helter Skelter and Boating Lake, 1950 also. Porthcawl Railway Station on Salt Lake are in the background. The Ghost Train, 1950 also. So back to John Street, looking north in the 1950s. Woolies is on the right hand side. This is Cozy Corner in 1952, prior to being landscaped. Cozy Corner 1952, after being landscaped. These are participants in a jazz band competition in Coney Beach Arena, 1950s. A day's outing here, also 1950s, with some day trippers. A game of putting in Griffin Park, 1950s also. Did you know there was a weather station in Griffin Park back in the 1950s? This is an aerial view of Griffin Park, again in the 50s. Rest Bay, sometime in the 50s also. And Coney Beach, also in the 50s. These next two pictures were the kids on the donkeys, and this one here, I'm not sure if it's the 50s or the 60s. So these are cars parked on Lochs Common, 1950s and 1960s, and this is Lochs Common Road in 1960s. Guys, as always, thank you for watching.